Shot her 5 times.
The situation where he shot her, though, like, do you know now, like, what it was about or what happened?
Well, because my mom didn't want to be with her.
LA always has wild drama brewing in the streets, but a dude from the Rollin 40s named Expo is stirring things up in a way that's got everyone talking. Even after beating a serious court case, he didn't slow down one bit. And today, we're breaking down this shocking story that's got LA buzzing. Expo's rise in the city streets was anything but calm. The chaos started way before he even knew what was going on. Expo grew up in a rough situation. Both his parents were deep in the street life and constantly clashing. Things got so bad that at one point, his mom tried to walk away, but his dad completely lost control and attacked her. She somehow survived, but that moment changed everything. His dad ended up locked away for years, and Expo's mom wasn't really around after that. Everyone in his family was tied up in the same dangerous lifestyle, and it didn't take long for tragedy to hit again. Expo's brother Dante was caught in the middle of some street politics that turned deadly.
It's like 30. Damn. 30 fans? Like 30. Now out of all 30, how many you win, you feel me? How many you lose?
In camp, I didn't lose no phase.
Dante was said to be down with the 7-4 Hoovers, but one night he stepped outside wearing his aunt's sweatshirt, a simple sweatshirt that had a 4-leaf clover on it. That symbol is known to be connected to the Rollin 40s Crips, and in that part of LA, wearing the wrong thing can put you in serious danger. Dante was just trying to make a quick stop to grab something, but he ran into a group from a rival area who mistook him for someone else. Things went bad fast, and Dante tragically lost his life that night.
After that, after we scrubbed it up, we chopped it up. He's like, "Oh, this like I'm 18." Like, well, I'm like 29. Like, do that every time. You can go to the like, do that every time. Do that in the county, you'll be straight. Don't turn down nothing. I don't care how big they is, old they is. Do that every time.
After that, Expo's older brothers tried hard to keep him off the streets, but it had the opposite effect. The more they told him to chill, the more he wanted to prove himself. By the time he was barely a teenager, he was already running around getting into trouble. When he was just 13, he caught his first charge after a failed robbery attempt on a city bus. Cops caught him right there, and he ended up serving 4 months in juvenile detention. That short time locked up only made him more determined to chase the street life even harder. Not long after Dante's passing, Expo's family moved to a Rollin 40s neighborhood called Parkside, a spot known for being one of the most active areas in LA. The Parkside clique had a reputation for always being involved in something, and Expo got officially put on the set when he was just 12 years old. From there, his name started ringing out. He was known as someone who handled business for his crew and never backed down. But there was another side to him too. Even while he was out in the streets, Expo found his way into music. He started recording tracks on SoundCloud and was actually gaining some attention, racking up thousands of views. Still, the streets had a strong hold on him, and music wasn't his main focus yet. He kept getting locked up here and there, but in 2017, things got real when he caught a robbery charge that finally landed him in prison for a stretch. Authorities tried to connect him to a bigger case, but the whole thing fell apart when witnesses backed out. That case could have ended his life for good, but somehow Expo walked free once again. Expo ended up sitting down for 4 long years, and the way it went down made everything even messier. He was already locked up on one robbery case when new charges came crashing down on him. Instead of handling everything together, the system waited until he got convicted on one charge, then hit him with the next. That move gave him 2 separate strikes on his record instead of 1, putting his whole future at risk. Now, he was supposed to be stuck in prison for 6 years total, but somehow Expo caught a break and came home early in 2022. The minute he touched down, he went right back to rapping, and his name started buzzing again like crazy. His freestyle Tiny Lock Freestyle Part 4 took off, and one line had everyone talking. In the track, he rapped, "4 years ain't changed. Shh, I'm still with it. Stop saying you spin with the switch, cause no you didn't." She said, "Hey babe, what you want for Christmas?"
If you a certain type of nigga, y'all gonna always, you know, connect. Real type of niggas from everywhere connect. So it don't matter just cause they op on hood. It's like I said, it's real niggas from over there too.
But could you be cool with them outside of the jail situation?
I don't know, cuz. I don't know, on the dead homies. It's niggas that I was cool with, cuz in prison that was really like my boys type shit on the dead homies. And just based off that, when I see you on the street, I won't smoke you, cuz. But I want to just chill with you though, on the dead homies, cuz you still from Snoop.
"I just want a lawyer so he can handle all the business." That verse had the internet on fire. It was clear that Expo hadn't lost his edge or confidence one bit. Even though he was making noise musically, Expo was still moving in a way that showed he hadn't left the streets fully behind. What caught everyone's eye though was his fashion. He started rocking the colors of his rivals. That's a bold move in LA, especially for someone with his reputation. Only the most fearless dudes in the city dare to wear colors that represent their enemies. Some Hoover sets are known for rocking orange, and Expo proudly wore it while having Hoover Killer tattooed on his face. That sent a big message to everyone watching. Aside from all that, Expo had a name for being quick with his hands. He once claimed that back when he was in juvie, he ran through 30 one-on-one fights and never took a real loss. But things changed when he got locked up in county jail for the first time at 18. There, he crossed paths with a 29-year-old from the Harlem Crips, a dude known for his skills and his respect in the county. They ended up squaring off, and this time, Expo didn't win. But instead of holding a grudge, he actually talked things out with the guy afterward. They settled their differences, and the older dude dropped some real wisdom on him. Expo said that while locked up, he built connections with people from all kinds of different sets, even some from enemy hoods. He admitted that some of the dudes he met inside, he could vibe with behind bars, even though on the streets they'd probably never hang out. He said he might not go after them if he saw them again, but at the same time, he couldn't ever call them homies outside the walls because of where they were from. Even after all that, Expo's name kept getting tied up in controversy. This time, it wasn't even about rival crews. It was about problems inside his own circle. The Rollin 40s already had a big name shaking things up, a rapper called FO Extra. FO Extra blew up after doing interviews on No Jumper and became known for his wild personality and catchy slogan, "Off the back." He even dropped a track with the same name, rapping, "Off the back, they know I'm crippin' off the back. I'm really trippin'. They know I got it on me off the back, I ain't slippin'. Off the back, yeah, I'm from Westside 40. They call me FO Extra, and you know I keep it spot."
He's like 30.
Damn. 30 fast?
Like 30.
Now, out of all 30, how many you win? You feel me? How many you lose?
In camp, I ain't lose no phase.
FO Extra had been around since he was just 11, officially joining the set before he even hit his teenage years. Since then, he's been in and out of lockup, living that same unpredictable LA life that Expo knows all too well. The Rollin 40s and the Rollin 60s Crips might be cool now, but back in the day, things were way different. When FO Extra was coming up, the tension between their sets was serious, and he even caught major charges for allegedly being involved in a deadly situation with two guys known as Baby Crafty and Infant Shady from the 60s. FO Extra repped the dark side clique of the Rollin 40s, whose territory sits right next to Parkside, the same hood Expo comes from. Word around the city is that the dark side clique was the one that first sparked the whole conflict with the 60s. According to Street Talk, everything started over a simple fight that spiraled out of control. A dude from the dark side foes named Tiny Crip Crazy allegedly got into a one-on-one with someone from the 60s over a woman. Tiny Crip Crazy ended up winning that fight and stomping the guy out. Not long after, the guy from the 60s came back for revenge. And that's what set off a chain of violence that dragged both sides into a long, ugly feud. Even before that moment, there was already some bad blood brewing. The 60s had been rocking with the Rollin 30s, and when the 30s and 40s started beefing, it created extra tension all around. Once the foes and 60s officially started clashing, things got wild. Both sides were losing people left and right until some OGs from the city stepped in and cooled things down. Over time, the two groups managed to find some peace, but the foes ended up facing a new problem. Problems from within their own set. Back in the day, FO Extra and Expo were actually cool. They were both young, hungry, and trying to make a name for themselves in music. But recently, rumors started flying that they've got serious issues brewing, and it all might have started over something as small as streaming numbers. Apparently, they started taking little shots at each other online, and things went left fast. Expo made it sound like he was getting a little too close to FO Extra's girl, and then tried to trademark the phrase "off the back," FO Extra's famous catchphrase. So he couldn't use it anymore. That move really got people talking. Later, both Expo and FO Extra ended up locked in county jail around the same time, and everyone was expecting a big showdown between them. But according to what came out later, that's not what happened at all. Word spread that Expo was avoiding FO Extra in jail. But when FO Extra got released and did another No Jumper interview, he cleared the air. He said Expo never actually filed the trademark for Off the Back and claimed they were housed in completely different parts of the jail, so they never ran into each other. Still, FO Extra kinda hinted that Expo wasn't exactly eager to see him face to face, and that little comment set the internet on fire. The story took an unexpected turn not long after. FO Extra had already been getting attention from his no-jumper interviews, but suddenly he went viral for a whole different reason. An accident that shocked everyone. Reports came out that he was messing around with illegal fireworks and they exploded in his hand. The story blew up online with headlines everywhere and fans flooding social media to send him support. But while some people were wishing him well, Expo wasn't showing any sympathy. Instead, he started clowning FO Extra from behind bars, posting jokes and comments that made it clear their beef was 100% real. To make things even messier, FO Extra's sister launched a GoFundMe to help pay for his hospital bills. And people online started calling him broke. FO Extra wasn't having it. He jumped back on social media with his hand still in a cast, flexing his jewelry and showing stacks of cash to prove he was still living good. Then Expo's brother, Tiny Hoods, another well-known name in the Rollin 40s, jumped into the mix too. Tiny Hoods called FO Extra out directly, saying he wasn't really representing the set like he claimed. That stirred up even more chaos because Tiny Hoods has a wild reputation in LA himself. He once made headlines for pulling off a huge bank robbery and then tossing cash out the window to people in the streets while the cops were chasing him. A story that made him somewhat of a local legend. Back in 2012, Tiny Hoods and his crew pulled off one of the wildest heists LA had seen in years. They stormed into a bank, threatened everyone inside, and ran off with over $20,000 in cash before jumping into their getaway ride. But their plans started falling apart fast when someone in the parking lot spotted them and called the cops, giving away what kind of car they were driving. Soon, the police were on their trail, chasing them all over the city. That's when Tiny Hoods did something nobody expected. He started tossing handfuls of cash out the window into the streets, making it rain for everyone watching. He knew they weren't getting away, so he turned it into a wild scene right there in traffic. Unfortunately, the whole thing didn't end well. One of Tiny Hood's own friends ended up telling the cops what really went down, and that betrayal sealed his fate. Tiny Hoods was sentenced to 33 years behind bars on robbery charges and won't be seeing freedom anytime soon. Now fast forward to today, and it looks like Expo might be walking down that same path. In 2025, Expo got caught up in another major case, this time for allegedly robbing a music producer along with two of his homies. According to police reports, the whole thing happened while the producer was in the studio editing music. That's when the crew supposedly came in, threatened him, and took his jewelry before taking off. But here's the crazy part. The whole thing was allegedly caught on camera inside the studio. Since Expo was already on probation at the time, this new charge hit even harder. This isn't the first time Expo's name has been tangled up in legal problems since coming home in 2022 either. Just a couple years later, in 2024, he got arrested again after his baby mama called the cops on him. It's not even clear if that case was finished before this new one hit. Expo's been trying to represent the Rollin 40s through his music and show he could bring something positive out of the streets. But the drama keeps following him no matter how much success he finds, and he's not the only one dealing with setbacks either. Another rapper from the Foes, Dodie 6, had his own wild story. After spending 7 years in prison, Dodie finally came home and landed a massive opportunity. Kendrick Lamar himself put him on a track. That collab had the whole city talking, and Dottie's buzz was through the roof. But before long, things started crumbling again. Rumors started flying that he had fallen into drug use, got disciplined by his own crew, and even had his chain snatched, allegedly by one of his own homies. The talk on the streets was that Dodie was using meth and making the hood look bad, which led to him getting checked by the Foes and losing some of the respect he had built up. It was a sad turn for someone who had so much potential after being featured alongside Kendrick. People thought that one cosign would change his life forever, but Dodie went live on Instagram and told everyone the truth. He said the song didn't change anything except his fame. It gave him attention, sure, but he still ended up broke and without a place to stay. Then, to make matters worse, Adam, 22 from No Jumper, jumped into the situation and leaked DMs from Dodie himself. In the messages, Dodie allegedly asked Adam to post that he was using meth and even wanted him to call out Kendrick Lamar publicly for not tapping in after the song dropped. The whole thing blew up online and made Dodie's situation even more chaotic. The Rollin 40s are known all across LA as one of the most recognized street groups in the city, but it seems like every time one of their artists is about to break into the mainstream, something dramatic happens that drags them right back down. Whether it's the law, addiction, or beef, there's always some twist that stops the momentum. A lot of people thought Expo would finally be the one to break the curse, the first rapper from the Foes to really take it to the next level and change the narrative. But with all these new cases stacking up and controversy surrounding his name again, that dream might be slipping away. If Expo doesn't find a way to leave the chaos behind, his career could end up just like so many before him, full of potential that never got the chance to shine. At the end of the day, the story of Expo, FO Extra, and the Rollin 40s feels like a non-stop roller coaster, full of talent, chaos, and what-ifs. Every time it seems like one of them is about to finally break out and change the game, something wild happens to pull them right back into the drama. It's like the streets won't let go, no matter how far they try to run. Expo came home ready to turn his life around through music, but somehow, trouble kept finding him. His flow, his confidence, and the energy in his tracks had people thinking he was next up for real. He's got that raw LA sound, that hunger you can't fake. And even with everything he's facing now, fans still say he could make a comeback if he ever gets the chance to stay focused. You can feel that pain and pressure in his voice, and that's what makes people connect with him. But with FO Extra calling him out, Tiny Hoods locked away, and Dodie 6 losing momentum after his big shot with Kendrick Lamar, it's like the Foes can't catch a break. Every story out of their camp feels like a movie. Betrayal, comebacks, viral moments, and heartbreak all rolled into one. What's even crazier is that every single one of them had real potential to flip their stories into success. But that street life just keeps dragging them back in. Still, you can't lie, their names stay buzzing. From SoundCloud to No Jumper to every blog in LA, people can't stop talking about them. Whether it's beef, music, or the next headline, the Foes keep the internet lit and fans can't get enough. The drama makes their stories addictive. You never know what's coming next. And honestly, that's what makes this story so fascinating. Behind all the street noise, there's real talent trying to fight through the chaos. You can see that hunger for change hiding under all the mistakes. Maybe one day, Expo or someone from the Foes will finally find a way to turn all that pain into something bigger, something that inspires instead of destroys. Because if there's one thing LA has taught the world, it's that from struggle comes greatness, and sometimes the people who fall the hardest end up writing the most unforgettable chapters. So what do you think? Is Expo gonna beat his case and finally get that shot at fame he's been chasing? Or is this another chapter in the long list of LA street legends who almost made it but couldn't escape the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We wanna know what side you're on. And don't forget, if you've been rocking with this story, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next drop. We've got more wild stories, more street legends, and more untold truths coming your way soon. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay smart, and we'll see you in the next video.